getting ready for FAU is the kids are excited. We came off of a ball game to where we won by good score, but maybe we didn't just execute as well as what we would have liked to in some situations. And this is another opportunity to go down there and show that we can get it done defensively and fit the run game and stay on top in the passing game. And in practice, we're still we're seeing a little bit different scheme and still trying to catch up a little bit to some of what FAU does. We've got some of the things down pretty good. We still got a little ways to go, but we got a few more days of practice left. So we're anxious.
Okay, and Friday night, Caleb Fordner had a big game with 8 tackles. Eric Ford had 5. Ella Mendoza had 4. And Justin Weaver, we hadn't heard a lot about, cornerback, had 3. Tell us a little bit about some of those players, how they did.
Caleb really burst on the scene last year against Navy and really showed that he's a guy that's going to play a lot of ball for us and make a lot of plays. He's done well in camp, and maybe last year before that Navy game, maybe all the fits in the run game weren't quite as good as we wanted, but those have I think improved tremendously. This camp, he's gotten a lot better at seeing reads and seeing them quickly and fitting the defense. So I think Caleb is going to put himself in position to make a lot of tackles, which he did the other night. I think you talk about Eric Ford and Elo Mendoza. Both those guys, I think, together had about 9 tackles, but they both play the same position. So I think that's a position where we want to put speed on the field, and both of them have it, and they got a nose for the ball, and that's a good thing for us. That's a position where we expect to get pass rush, and getting Elo going on pass rush is not very hard to do. He's a guy that has speed and power and gets out to a quarterback pretty good. And then Eric Ford does too. Eric Ford's got a really good get off and great speed coming off the edge, and we'll need it this week against FAU. And Justin Weaver is he's got an awful lot of talent. We love how he comes and practices, and he just keeps getting better and better. And he's worked his way up into some playing time, and we'll do so again this week.
Hey, Coach, my final question is, we talked to Coach Munkin a little bit yesterday or this week about the key of getting a pass rush and also coverage downfield. How do you feel like your team is developing, putting pressure on quarterbacks and pass defense?
Yeah, I think this quarterback runs the football really well. And I think some of the elements of their offense, try to drain you from a coverage standpoint so that he can run. So, of course, we've got to get pressure on the quarterback. We've got to be able to defend the deep ball, but an awful lot of that offense is more geared towards that quarterback running. And because of coverage, with eligibles flooding the zone to one side of the field, the quarterback's able to run back the other way. And that's sometimes you look at them and you think, my goodness, this is a little bit like the option game. It's where maybe he's not pitching the football. He may throw it overhand out in the flat a little bit, just like you would in the option game, pitching it out in the flat. So what we got to do is a good job of when they do take the shots on top, we got to be there. We got to get pressure on the quarterback, but containing the quarterback may be more the challenge, and being able to keep him in the pocket. And if he gets out of the pocket, it reminds me a little bit of the quarterback from Liberty a couple of years ago. He can stick his foot in the ground and he can go. So we'll see what we can do as far as getting in his face. But the big thing, of course, is going to be containing him when he pulls it down and runs.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
We got Ken or Sal?
Hey, Nate, Ken McMillan from the record.
Hey, Ken.
Nate, just to stay on that pressure point. Coach Monken brought it up the other day. He says it's not like you've got Andre Carter out there. It's not like you've got an NFL guy all the time. But is it like you're trying to find the who's going to be that guy, who's going to get the pressure on the quarterback? Are they still trying to find themselves after 1 week?
No, I think we know. I think we got some guys that can rush the passer. The question is, if the quarterback is getting rid of it, in 2 seconds or less, then you don't want to spend extra time rushing the quarterback. You want to spend extra bodies, covering the pass. So if it's coming out quick, that's you want to make sure that you're in position to defend the quick throw. Now, if he's holding the football for it gets up around 2.7 or 3 seconds or more, you better be hitting the quarterback. You better be getting pressure on him. You better be making him move out of the pocket and have to run a little bit or move a little bit and get him to where he's not in a rhythm. So I think a lot of people make a big deal out of sacks, and it is. It's hard to sack the quarterback, but I think more of the focus ought to be on disrupting the quarterback's rhythm. So if a quarterback is hitting 70% of his passes, that's not unheard of nowadays. It's because of the quick game and RPOs. But if a quarterback is hitting 50%, generally that's a pretty good day for your defensive secondary and your defense in general. So everything works hand in hand. You got to get the coverage to hold off the quarterback and get pressure on him, and then getting pressure on the quarterback when he holds on to it too long.
I know it's Lehigh, but were you satisfied with your defense? Is it coming together given the fact that you have so many new faces or inexperienced faces out there?
I think this. I thought Lehigh was a better offense than maybe last year. But as I look back at last year's games and study them, they only lost games by 3 points here or 7 points there, and it seemed like they always scored. They were getting points and moving the ball, and I thought we would. I thought it being the first ball game, I thought we would have to iron out some wrinkles, and at the end of the day, holding a team to 7 points, I'm happy with. I'm absolutely happy with in today's game with that. But was it pretty? I wouldn't say that. I think that there's an awful lot of things that we left ourselves an opportunity to get better at, and that was the focus this week was more on us and how we get better as a defense, and we'll see how that thing goes with FAU Saturday.
Not to take a swipe at Lehigh, but Coach Monken was saying that FAU is just a different team, faster, bigger. Talk about the transition from week 1 to week 2, and you're about to face, a faster and bigger team. Is it kind of like spring training in baseball, and now all of a sudden it's opening day? And
well, I thought Lehigh had a good plan. I thought they executed some things pretty well, and I think
but they're an adjustment.
FAU
They're
did
like
too.
you have to get used to it.
Yeah, I think FAU went to Michigan State and gave them all they could handle, and they did that with a lot of transfers leaving their program and going on to some pretty good schools, and then they also have a lot of transfers that came from some of the Power 4 schools. So yeah, you're gonna have bigger, faster athletes that can run and jump, pretty good. So how well they get into a rhythm during the ball game is what matters. And if we can disrupt their rhythm and get some stops for our offense, then we're we're going to have some success. It's going to be a good day for us. But the quarterback is ultra athletic. He's long, he's fast, and and he's got an arm on him, but he's not the only guy. They got some big guys up front and all that, but that's not the only really athletic football team that we're going to play against. So we're anxious to see how much we improve from week 1 to week 2, and a lot of years your best improvement comes from week 1 to week 2. So we're anxious to see that.
Cody Harris has been slated as starter, but Jeff said that Jacob and Cody are going to be playing too at the nose. Can you just offer a few words about Cody and why he's impressed?
Well, number one, he's strong, one of the strongest guys on our defense. He's a guy that has great determination. He can hold the point, really well. I think Cody is going to be a really, really good football player for us. And the more he plays, the better he's going to get. But also think that we've got to rotate, guys at that position and keep them fresh so that they can give us a good game all the way through. And they're the ones that have to demand the double team. And if they're not double teamed on plays, then defensively we break down. We've got to get them to where offenses have to double team the nose. And when they try to double team Cody, he's a guy that holds the point and doesn't get knocked back into the linebackers. I think Jacob Tuioti's got an awful lot of talent, and we need his reps as well. And then Cody Winokur is another one that all three of those guys have something that they bring to the table, and as long as they're giving everything that they've got, we can be a much better defense every time we go out there, because those guys just get better and better with the more reps they get.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Got Sal?
You there, Sal?
Hey, Coach Woody, I just got one quick question for you. I hope you're well. Just wanted to ask you about the corners. Looked like you played 4 in the first half, rotating them in. I just wanted to see if that's going to be the case maybe this week against Florida Atlantic.
That's the plan for the season, is to rotate, 2 deep throughout our whole defense. So if not just the corner position, but everywhere. So as long as we can maintain that rotation and keep that, I think you build depth and you're better in the long run at the end of the season, because you need to get guys to where they can step up when it's their turn. And if you can get that early in the season, then they get their confidence earlier and continue to play and get better and better as the year goes on. So the corners, I thought they did a good job, and they'll continue to rotate as much as we can, just like the rest of the defense will.